Let's take a look at some sample problems from section 13.2 on consumer credit. Couple of things that you'll need as we start working on these problems. Number one, you will need your calculator, so make sure you have a scientific calculator handy. Another thing that may be useful is to have a calendar. Doesn't matter for what year, but have a calendar available to help you in counting the days in terms of the months. So we'll begin with the exercise number 6, and the directions say, suppose you want to buy a new car that costs $16,500. You have no cash, only your old car, which is worth $3,000 as a trade-in. So the new car is costing $16,500 and we have a trade-in of $3,000. Now we have a series of questions in numbers 6 through 10 which we'll work through relating to this new car purchase. So number 6 says, how much do you need to finance to buy the new car? So in order to figure that out, we just want to subtract the trade-in amount from the purchase price of the new car, and we get $13,500. So since you have no down payment and you're just using your trade-in, that would be how much you need to finance. Okay, in number 7, we're asked, the dealer says the interest rate is 9% add-on for 3 years. Okay, 9%, which as a decimal is 0.09. And it's an add-on for our time is 3 years. Okay, interest is calculated by principal times rate times time when it's add-on. So the principal is actually this amount financed, so our interest will be $13,500 times the rate 9% times 3 years. And this is where you're going to need your calculator. At least I do these with the calculator to save time. So I'm going to multiply these together times 3. Okay, so I get $3,645 is going to be the interest. Number 8 says find the total amount to be repaid. So that's going to be the amount financed plus the interest should give us the total amount repaid. Whoops. I did a little something wrong there. Hit the wrong key. Okay, 13,500 plus 3645 gives us 17,145. So that's the total amount to be repaid. The monthly payment, all right, we have 3 years times 12 months per year. That's 36 payments. So we need to take our 17,145 and divide it by the 36. And that's going to be $476.25 per month. Okay, find the total cost for your new car plus the interest. Okay, so the new car is this amount, and then the interest is the $36.45. Notice I went back to the initial price, so I'm including that, and so I want to take 16,500 plus the 36.45, so it's costing 16,800. Something's not right. Oh, one of my keys didn't register. 16,500 plus 3,645. I thought that was a little bit low. Okay, so we're getting $20,145 is what the new car is actually costing when you include the interest. Okay, so we covered a lot of information in that series of problems. Now let's move on to number 20. It says finding the monthly payment for add-on interest loan. What are the monthly payments Donna DeSimmons pays on a loan of $1680? So she's borrowing $1680. That's going to be our principal for a period of 10 months. Time is 10 out of 12, or 5/6 of a year. Remember, time has to be in years. And 9% is our rate, so 0.09 is our rate. So let's figure out, first of all, the interest. So we want to take 1680 times 0.09 is our rate, times 5/6. See what we get for our interest. 1680 times 0.09 times 5 divided by 6. So I'm getting $126 add-on interest. So that means we have 1680 plus 126. The amount to be repaid is $1806. Okay, now we need to divide that by the 10 months. So that would be $180.60 per month. So notice this one was more or less some of the same things we did in number 6 through 10. It's just they were all included in that one particular item or question. One more of these. Let's do 24. It says find the number of payments of an add-on interest loan. How many monthly payments must Jawan make on a $10,000 loan? Okay, so P is $10,000, and he pays $417.92 a month. Okay, and the add-on interest rate is 10.15%. Okay, I'm going to let 10 is. Okay, so what we don't know is the time. All right, the payment, the interest would be principal times rate times time. So in our case, and then the amount repaid would be principal plus principal times rate times time. And the payment is going to be that divided by the number of months. So we'll say time in years. Time in months, that's going to be 12 times t. Okay, time in months would be 12 times t. Okay, so if it's 5 years, it's going to be 60 payments. And so forth. So let's see if we have enough information. 417.92 equals the 10,000. And notice I can factor that out. 1 plus RT. Let's see if that helps us any. 1 plus 0.1015 times t divided by 12t. Okay, I don't really think factoring that out is going to help us that much. So let's take 417, whoops, I got to clear this. 417.92 times 12t, so I'm multiplying it times 12t on both sides. Okay, that's going to give us 5,015.04 times t, and I'm going to distribute that back out. That didn't really help us. 10,000 plus, let's see, it's going to move 1,015t. So I'm going to subtract 1,015t. So I get 4,000.04 times t equals 10,000. And if I divide by 4,000.04 t, oops, no t, 4,000.04, okay, so 10,000 divided by 4,000.04. I'm getting 2.5 years. Okay, so 12 times 2.5, and I get 30 months. Ooh, that was a really tricky one. Okay, so I wrote down the information and I thought about the steps that I normally take. I figure out how much to repay, and then I find the payment by dividing by the number of months. So the number of months, t is the number of years. So 12t would be the number of months. Can't spell this morning, months. Okay, so I've got the payment. I know 12t, but I don't exactly know what how many years it is. When I solve, I finally find t is 2.5 years, and I multiply that times 12 to figure out the number of months. That was very tricky. Okay, I think I'll stop at this point and pick up. I have a couple more problems I want to do on the next recording.